Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, my dudes, and we are here to talk about the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. So, just gonna get this out of the way now, because I do want to talk about spoilers. So, I really liked the last episode, and honestly, I've really liked this series as a whole. And I highly recommend it. I think it is one of the best things that Marvel has made, period, in terms of television. And I definitely think it's one of the better things that they've made recently. So if for whatever reason you're on this video and you haven't watched Daredevil Born Again, seriously, go watch it. It's awesome. With that said, I am going to talk about this is going to be sort of a series review as well as, the final episode. So let's talk about the final episode before I really get into my thoughts on the series overall. This final episode was pretty much everything I expected it to be. It brought Punisher back, which I was extremely happy about. It set up that we've been building up to the fact that there's going to be a conflict between the vigilantes of New York, particularly Daredevil, and Kingpin's anti-vigilante task force. I'm still kind of sticking with my guns and thinking that this episode was supposed to be the midpoint, and this really was supposed to be one long show, not 2 seasons. But Marvel be Marvel. Or corporate be corporate. I don't know. Let's see if I still feel that way once season 2 drops sometime next year. I hate that we have to wait a year, because I really want more of this show. So let's get into it. Let's get into the story. So we have, by the end, Daredevil has pretty much, Kingpin has declared war on vigilantes in New York. And in retaliation, Daredevil has pretty much declared a war on Kingpin. So, Kingpin's firmly got the police of New York City in his pocket through his task force of corrupt individuals, as well as, just putting the fear of God, or fear of him, rather, into anyone who dares to stand up against him, especially since he kills the commissioner in front of a bunch of people with his bare hands. Just crushes the guy's skull. Which, good lord, this episode was gory. Between Kingpin crushing a guy's skull with his bare hands, to the fights that Daredevil and Punisher get into with the task force, to even Punisher just going in and attacking the task force. This episode was gory. Again, top-notch acting from all the old cast. D'Onofrio, John Bernthal, Punisher, and of course, Brian, the guy that plays Daredevil. I want to say Brian Cox, that's not it. What's his name? This is gonna bug me now. Who is it? This is gonna bug me. And also, I'll probably try and get, Charlie Cox, that's his name. And John Bernthal is, Frank Castle. Sorry about that. I should be more prepared. I never am. Don't expect me to be. Top-notch acting from all of them. I was even happy to see that they brought Karen back for this episode. And hopefully she's in more of Season 2 than she was in this one. I'll get into my thoughts about that later. So yeah, war's been declared between the Daredevil and Kingpin. We've got confirmation on why Foggy was assassinated. Basically, they wanted to... Vanessa wanted to create her own little kingdom where she could basically just do all the crimes she wanted and nothing could touch her. And that appears to be what her and Wilson are going to be pushing forward on, along with, you know, this anti-vigilante war next season. So, with all that out of the way, let's talk about what I think about the series as a whole. My biggest gripe with the whole series, what really kind of keeps it just below the bar that was set by the original Netflix series, is the fact that Foggy and Karen are not really in this series. They're not part of the core cast. I really do feel like that the original Daredevil series, part of what made it work so well, along with, you know, really good writing, which I do like the writing of Daredevil Born Again, I think it's solid. What really sold the rest of the original Netflix show was that core trio, was Matt, Karen, and Foggy. And well, I will give an asterisk to the following statement that the new characters of, I think it's Sherry and Kirsten, the cop and the other lawyer, and even to some extent Heather, the therapist that Matt's dating, don't really have the same kind of chemistry with Matt, and they didn't really have that much of a presence, like as much of a presence as Karen and Foggy. They also didn't really get a lot of screen time to develop that. Like, this show was very much centered on Matt Murdock and Kingpin, which, again, that's what we're here for, but at the same time, the previous show managed to get that balance and kind of really put, Karen and Foggy in as much of the spotlight as Matt. That's why we grew to love them. And I really feel like Daredevil Born Again suffers for the fact that they are not here. Now, granted, we might get a little bit of that back if Karen sticks around for Season 2. Foggy is still listed as part of the cast for Season 2. I don't know how. I know there's, like, a comic story where, like, Matt gets him back from the hell somehow. I'm probably getting that all wrong. I'm not the big comic guy. But, like, I don't see this show taking on a supernatural turn. Daredevil has been one of the more grounded, if not the most grounded, MCU television shows. The closest thing we've really gotten is bringing up frickin' White Tiger's mystical little amulet, but we didn't see what the amulet does. We didn't really see White Tiger in action. Like, we didn't see any of that. It's just bringing up the fact that, like, hey, magic exists in this universe. So, I don't know. I could be wrong. I did kind of think that Vanessa wasn't going to be the person behind Foggy's death, but I didn't really have a reason at the time to think that she would be. A lot of people just speculated she was because of said comic where she does hire a hitman to kill him. Which was to spark a conflict between Daredevil and Kingpin, hoping that they would take each other out because XYZ reasons. Which does not seem to be the case in this show, therefore I would not have thought of it. So, again, I'm really looking forward to Season 2. I'm very happy with Season 1. I really wish they hadn't split it up. I wish they hadn't. But then again, if the other half wasn't done, which they're still shooting it, I guess, and I don't imagine it was, just given how the production went with the writer's strike and then what Kevin Feige came in and did afterwards, maybe the other half of the show wasn't ready, so they were forced to split it up. I mean, I guess I understand that. Still don't think they needed to, but, like, they could have delayed it a little bit. I'm gonna force myself to edit this, because I want to talk about potential MCU implications. So I'm just gonna make myself edit. Yay! So, potential MCU implications, and why I honestly don't think this show is going to have that many. So the reason I don't think this show is going to have that many is because, number one, the next sort of really grounded film that we're going to get that could take place in New York. Because at the end of Born Again, Season 1, Fisk has declared war on vigilantes. Vigilantism is now even more of a crime, even though it kind of already is a crime. You're not supposed to take the law into your own hands, which is part of what annoys me so much about the police who idolize the Punisher, because that's literally what he does. But, whatever. Sorry, phone's going off. But, so, the only film that I think could take place after this that would be in New York, granted, I don't know where exactly Thunderbolts is going to take place yet. We'll find out, next month, which I'm psyched for that. The next one that could possibly take place in New York is Spider-Man. And I've got thoughts when it comes to the new Spider-Man film. I'll talk about those in another video. But if this show is what I think it is, if Season 2 really is just going to be Part 2, and it's going to pick up right after the last episode of Born Again, if Spider-Man 4 is after Daredevil Born Again, and again, it's a Part 1, Part 2, then the consequences of Fisk being the mayor and declaring war on vigilantes is probably going to be dealt with and undone by the time we get to Spider-Man 4. I really don't see this show influencing the movies that much, which that's a whole deal with, the fact that there's supposed to be a shared continuity. We've had Marvel just straight up ignore shit before. Cough, cough, Secret Invasion, cough, cough. But, as I think I said in, I don't know if I said this in my Brave New World video or not. I might have just said this with my friends. My headcanon for why the whole war on aliens thing is no longer a thing is, because we've had a change of president between, Secret Invasion and Brave New World. We went from whoever was president in Secret Invasion to Thunderbolt Ross. And, my headcanon is, Ross went, you know what, forget that whole, war on aliens thing. And don't worry about it. And, I can 100% believe by a new president just overriding the orders of a former president. Because Christ knows we've seen that enough recently. So that's my headcanon for what happened with Secret Invasion's little MCU reaching implications that went fucking nowhere. So, but time will tell if I'm right, time will tell if I'm wrong. Again, I don't see it affecting Spider-Man because even if Born Again Season 2 is somehow after Spider-Man 4, I already don't think Spider-Man 4 is going to be that grounded. I have worries about it. I'll talk about that in another video. Look for my... I'm planning on doing a potential Avengers roster for the next couple movies. Look for that video. That's where I'll talk about Spider-Man. And That means I should probably get my ass in gear and actually record that one. But anyway, all that aside, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I really like Born Again Season 1. I cannot wait for Season 2. I can't wait for the Punisher special, just because, god damn, Punisher is metal. I like him as a character. I don't necessarily agree with him, though. But anyways, that's all I've got for this video. I hate the fact that I have to make myself edit now. I just wanted to straight upload this, but oh well. I will see you guys in the next one. May the Lord God bless you all, and if that's not your thing, have a great day. I will see you next time.